some play.
The NFL's two top defensive teams coming up after this word from your local station. Welcome to an emotionally charged Veterans Stadium for the NFC Western Division champion New Orleans Saints of '91 against the Philadelphia Eagles, who have already paid a final and tearful tribute to their fallen hero here, Jerome Brown. Jim Nantz along with Dan Fouts. Welcome to opening day here on CBS. Welcome, Dan. It's good to be with you. These teams have similar philosophies, dominating defenses, but they also come into this season looking for their ground attack to really come on. Philadelphia specifically went out and got Herschel Walker. What about him?
Well, they picked up Herschel on waivers, so this could be Herschel's last chance in the NFL. But what Herschel gives this Eagle offense is that chance to go all the way at any time, something they haven't had for a very long time.
And how about the Saints, loaded now with healthy running backs and a new rookie in there, Vaughn Dunbar, the first rounder.
Well, Dunbar will start today, but we'll also see McAfee and Hilliard. The real plus that the Saints have is probably in their fullback, Craig Hayward. Hayward is the best blocking fullback in the game, but when you talk about the Eagles and the Saints, this is going to be defense. Number 1 last year, Philadelphia. Number 2, New Orleans.
Philadelphia has won the toss and will receive from Morton Anderson. By Sikahima and Herschel Walker standing on the goal line. Big boomer from Anderson as the 73rd season in the NFL is underway. Touchback. Sikahima fields it in the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20, and here comes Randall Cunningham. He's been out for 370 days since the injury, the first play of the second quarter in the opener last year against Green Bay. And the offensive line, big on the right side with Eric Floyd, picked up Plan B from San Diego, and Antone Davis, both over 300 pounds. Walker in the backfield with Heath Sherman. Barnett and Williams are the running back, are the wide receivers, and at tight end is Keith Byers. Herschel gets the carry right away, and a quick 7, maybe 8. Bringing a big run against that defensive line of Martin, Wilkes, and Warren. Veterans, the famed linebacking corps, all Pro Bowlers, Ricky Jackson, Mills, Johnson, Pat Swilling, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. In the secondary, Buck and Reginald Jones on the corners, Maxey and Atkins are the safeties. 2nd and 2, Walker with 8 yards on his first carry as an Eagle. 2 tight ends, Beach and Byers. Pitch to Walker, stacked up, twist, maybe for a yard.
And you mentioned that the Eagles did go with the 2 tight ends. That's a bit of a departure from what we were told yesterday. Byers was not the opening tight end. It was Pat Beach, who the Eagles just acquired this past week on waivers from the Indianapolis Colts.
Call it no gain, or actually a loss of a yard on that play, Dan, so it's 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. And there is Keith Byers lining up on a wing to the right. From the shotgun, Cunningham fires, caught by Dixon. Floyd Dixon. First down, Philadelphia.
I think the Eagles have got to be real happy with their start. Their first play of the game, Herschel gets 8 yards, and on the first pass for Cunningham, he picks up the first down. This is Keith Byers, and watch him on the pass protection here. He's going to come over and help on the left side, Ron Heller, against Pat Swilling right there. And he does an outstanding job. The Eagles pick up a first down.
Double tight ends, Beach and Byers. The single back is Walker on first down. Barnett in motion. Herschel off the right side for about 3. What about the Eagles' game plan today, Dan?
Well, one thing they want to avoid is the third and the second and long situations where the Saints will bring in their nickel coverages. So when the Saints do that, they put Swilling and Jackson on the line of scrimmage, and they are outstanding pass rushers. So you'll see, hopefully today, you'll see the Eagles throwing the ball more on first down, trying to pick up the intermediate gains.
Well, they put the spot back at the 32-yard line, so only 1 yard for Walker. 2nd and 9 for Philadelphia. Barnett near the first down across the 40. Fred Barnett. Now Randall Cunningham took his first hit of the season from Pat Swilling.
And this is a short pass play, and nobody, can you believe this, nobody comes out and blocks Randall Cunningham. I mean, Pat Swilling, and he drills Cunningham in the back. Guard was a little bit late coming out to pick up number 56, and all he did last year was be the NFL's best defensive player, leader in sacks, and a guy that should have everybody's attention on that Eagles sideline and in that huddle.
The 3rd and less than a yard for the Eagles.
But you saw on a running type of situation, Cunningham throwing the ball on a quick hitch out to his wide receiver. Kotite wants to keep the Saints off balance and be as unpredictable as he can. The real plus he has the most unpredictable athlete playing quarterback for him in Randall Cunningham.
McMahon helping send in signals on 3rd and less than a yard. Sherman and Walker in the backfield. Beach and Byers, the tight ends. Herschel has it. First down, Eagles. Jim Mora, 7th year for the Saints, his 99th game as the head coach at New Orleans. 57 wins, 41 losses. Their all-time winningest coach, and signed to a 3-year extension this week along with general manager Jim Finks. It will take them through the 95 season.
Very relaxed coach yesterday when we talked to him. Very pleased with his new contract situation, as is just about everybody in that front office. When you get the 2 top guys signed up for 3 more years, everybody breathes a little more easily.
1st and 10, Philadelphia from its 42. Keith Sherman, his first carry. Scoots across the 45 and picks up about 4, running behind Ron Heller, Mike Shadd. Well, last year, his numbers really fell off, averaging under 3 yards a carry, 279 yards after a very big rookie year in 1990.
He had an outstanding preseason, though, and Kotite attributes that directly to the competition in that Eagle backfield. When you talk about Herschel Walker coming over, that gets everybody's attention.
90 was the first year Sherman really played a lot. It was actually his 2nd year in the league. Now it's 2nd and 5. In the shotgun, Cunningham will roll out of the pocket. Gets away from the lineman. He's not afraid to run with it into Saints territory at the 43. He ran away from Wayne Martin and gained 10 yards.
We talked about the unpredictability of Cunningham. Watch as he sets in the pocket. The pocket will collapse to the inside. Ricky Jackson, going against Antone Davis, takes the inside track that time, and that allows this man to get outside, running away from all these big guys wearing numbers in the 90s, 93, 94. You know you got to outrun those fellas.
Well, he said, I'll be back scrambling. I'm back scrambling. He had it on his hat, the one you borrowed before the game today. Did you give it back?
No, I had to give it back. There were all kinds of cops after me.
1st and 10 in a hole for Walker. First down, Philadelphia. Cuts back to the inside, and Herschel Walker down at the 10. 33 yards on that run.
Real good example of a pancake block here by number 73, Ron Heller. Actually, that's Mike Shadd coming out on the trap block on Swilling. He drills Swilling. Now Walker gets some help down the field from Fred Barnett and stays to the inside. Watch this block by Shadd. Swilling a little bit off balance there. Herschel takes it all the way down to the 10.
First and goal, the nose of the football right on the 10. Giving it right down the throats of the Saints on the first drive and a timeout by Cunningham. 8:48 to go in the first quarter. What an impressive start for the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, in the East last year, Philadelphia was third, 10-6, and out of the playoffs.
But the impressive part of that 10-6, Jim, was the second half of the season when the Eagles went 7-8. Kotite told us yesterday that the biggest thing he and his team learned last year is that they realized that they could win without number 12. What are they going to do with him this year? Probably win a whole lot more.
If this first drive is any indication. First and goal from the 10. Williams in motion. Good fake by Randall as he rolls left and keeps it. Cunningham, he hurdles toward the end zone and down at the 2. Atkins and Wilkes on the collision, but not afraid to take it right at him right away.
He had a few opportunities to throw this ball, but I think his running instincts are still intact. It's a bootleg. After the fake to Sherman, he comes all the way to the outside. Now he's got 3 receivers to choose from, but Randall has done this so often, get airborne and get in the end zone. An 8-yard gain on first down.
Not apprehensive at all. Second and goal from the 2. 2 tight ends, Beach and Byers. 2 backs. Fake. Flip. Touchdown to Herschel Walker. Ruzek on the extra point try. Saints keeping the football for over 7 minutes at the start. Hit the crossbar, or hit the upright. No good. Dave Alexander on the snap, and he dribbled it in there to Fiegels. 6-0 Eagles in the first.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, reminding you to always buckle up. Do it for those who love you. Miller Lite, it's everything you want a beer to be. And by Castrol Syntec, the new synthetic oil that protects in ways other oils can't.
Jim Nance and Dan Fouts back in Philadelphia. So much attention given to Herschel Walker and Randall Cunningham coming into this game, and they hook up on the Eagles' opening score of the season on their opening drive. Ruzek kicks. McAfee and Hilliard back for the Saints. Hilliard 2 yards deep. He muffs it. The ball is free inside the 5, and the Saints fall on it. Hilliard got it back.
A little pregame jitters for Dalton Hilliard. The key to this kick was that it was so high, the ball took a long time to come down. Hilliard just lets this one go right through the wicket. And the bad thing is it goes out onto the playing field away from him. Fortunately for the Saints, Dalton picked it up. But what a terrible place to start your first drive of the year, down already 6-0.
From their own 5, Hebert at quarterback, Hayward and Dunbar in the backfield. Rookie Vaughn Dunbar. Oh, somersaults back to the line of scrimmage. Clyde Simmons. Hebert, so strong a year ago after a holdout year in 90. Offensive line called the best since he's been here by Jim Mora, with the veteran Stan Brock in his 13th year on the right side. Derek Kennard, watch him also. Dunbar and Hayward in the backfield. Turner and Early, the starting receivers, and Hobie Brenner, his 12th year from USC at tight end. Now joined at tight end by Tommy Stowers. 2nd and 10 for the Saints. And this time only about 2, maybe 3. Reggie White stood him up. #1 draft choice of the Saints, gets the first 2 carries going against the NFL's #1 defense. White and Gowick. Leon Seals picked up in a trade from Buffalo this week, and Clyde Simmons. Joyner coming off a huge year with Evans and Thomas. And the secondary shapes up this way. Eric Allen, just added this week after a late signing. 3rd down and 7 from the shotgun. Hebert standing inside of the 5. Tipped, almost intercepted. Welcome to the Eagles, Leon Seals.
Well, both new kids on the block have contributed already. Herschel Walker on that first drive, and now Leon Seals, the guy that dubs himself Dr. Sack, will get his hand on this pass from Hebert. What a way to start in your new home.
What a place to punt from. Tommy Barnhart will kick to Vi Sikahema. Sikahema runs under it, back at his 44. That dances out near the 50. Toy Cook on the special teams tackle. Eagles set up an excellent field position, leading already 6-0. Dan, really a myriad of emotions for the Eagles in the last 45 minutes here at the Vet.
You know, talking to Coach Hyde yesterday about it, he almost was thinking about playing defense first to start this game. But, of course, he had no choice when the Saints lost the toss. They did receive. They took it down 80 yards in 7 minutes, and they're riding high right now on all those emotions.
Starting right out in the shotgun formation with 4 receivers. There to fall on it for the Saints was Wayne Martin. Ricky Jackson stripped it free. New Orleans has it in the Eagles' territory.
Cunningham's going to step up in the pocket, and then from the left side of the screen is going to be Jackson with his right hand with that patented swipe move that all linebackers seem to use nowadays. And real good hustle by Wayne Martin diving out there for the recovery. Watch Jackson working against Antone Davis, and he's pushing around a lot of man there. Davis goes about 330, excuse me. Jackson makes a big play, turnover for the Saints.
From the 46 of the Eagles with light drizzle now. Hebert, man open at the 30. Complete to Quinn Early. A gain of 16.
This is a type of offense that the Saints have done so well. It's the control type of passing. The thing I like about it is they get the turnover and they go up top right away. The defense a little bit deflated, maybe not moving quite as quickly, and that may have been the difference that Isaiah Jenkins didn't make that play on the sidelines.
Stowers and Brenner, 2 tight ends. Delayed give and Dunbar. Boy, had he gotten away from Wes Hopkins, he may have been home free, but a gain of only 3.
Not many people get away from Wes Hopkins, so Jimmy, right. What a fantastic open field tackle. He was definitely the last man, or Dunbar would have been in the end zone.
Tell me about Von Dunbar. I'm having a problem with that. That's 2 Vaughns now on the Saints.
It's really a classic example of a rookie signing early, getting all of training camp, and here he earns a start on opening day.
Wesley Carroll in as the 3rd receiver on 2nd and 7. Off the first tackler, but then is double teamed by Hopkins and Byron Evans.
The middle linebacker position is really the glamour spot on the defense. He doesn't have a whole lot of people blocking at him. And now Evans, number 56, gets outside and squares up on the rookie Dunbar and drills him. First guy there, though, was again weak safety Wes Hopkins.
3rd and 6 from the 26. Eric Martin signed just this week in for the first time. He's in that set to the left, the 3 receivers to the left, and a timeout called by New Orleans. So the Saints face a big 3rd down when we come back with 3:48 to go in the first. Philadelphia 6-0, driving on its first possession. Jim Nantz along with Dan Fouts. 3rd and 6 for the Saints here, Dan.
Yeah, Hebert had to call timeout that time because the play clock had run all the way down to just 4 seconds. Not enough time to move his receivers around.
Hilliard on 3rd down, flanking Hebert out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, Carroll to the right. Now they'll swing over Eric Martin, and they'll stick it in the belly of Hilliard. Trying to fight near the first down yardage. He won't get it. He'll be about a yard short. Smith and Waters on the tackle, and hold on.
Remember last year, these two teams got into it after the game was over. That was the famous Andre Waters sneak attack on Eric Martin.
It was the game won by the Saints here, 13-6, where they forced 6 Philadelphia turnovers. Keith Byers said after that game, they aren't as good as people down there seem to think they are. No way they match up with the Philadelphia Eagles of we're full strength. And I'm sure the Saints haven't forgotten that comment.
Now, when you talk about full strength, what Byers is talking about there is that when they have Cunningham as their quarterback, the defense now has to defend against 11 people, not just 10 as it is with most NFL teams. It's more like playing in a college game where you have a great athlete playing quarterback who can really run with the ball.
39-yard field goal attempt from Morton Anderson, fighting tendonitis in his kicking knee. On the hold is Tommy Barnhart. Joel Hilgenberg snaps it back. Morton Anderson, still good as ever. He's now scored in 128 straight games as Morton Anderson. 6-3 Eagles with 3:11 to go in the first. Let's get an update now. Los Angeles Rams.
I saw the Rams in their last exhibition game against the San Diego Chargers, and they're going to have a long year. 3-1 in the preseason, but Chuck Knox told me that they're not as good as that record, and I think Buffalo, having to open up in Buffalo with all the emotions that the Bills are coming off of, that's not an easy place to start. But the Rams, you know, it's like anybody in this division, the NFC East, that NFC West, with San Francisco on the rebound, this team, New Orleans, and the Falcons, it's going to be a long year for Ram fans.
We saw Herschel Walker trotting back to field this kick. Already 5 carries, 43 yards for Herschel in the first quarter, plus he caught a pass for a touchdown.
They averaged about 8 yards per rush in that first drive as well.
Anderson's first kick went midway through the end zone for a touchback. Another big boot. Same spot, Sikahema will down it. It's doubleheader day on CBS, Dan, and game 2, most of you will see San Francisco at the New York Giants. Some will watch Phoenix against Tampa Bay, but the 49ers and Giants meeting on opening day for the 2nd straight year.
And at quarterback this year won't be Jeff Hostetler for the Giants, it'll be Phil Simms. Big, mysterious doings there in New York, keeping the old quarterback thing quiet to the last minute.
Dunbar, a little stitching, thankfully not through the skin, but through the jersey.
The skin is next.
It's opening for Walker. A quick burst for 10. He's already over 50 yards rushing in the first quarter.
And what we're seeing is the Eagles running behind that right side of Eric Floyd and Antone Davis. Now, we're talking big people on the right side here. There's Floyd, 61, and Antone. Here they are right here. Herschel's going to get in right behind them. And now we're talking about 330 pounds for Davis. And then you have Floyd at 310, Jim. That's more toes than I have to count with.
Good block, too, by Heath. Sherman will carry it this time on 1st and 10 and net 1 yard.
And that's the way this game is going to be, I think, Jim, is you're going to see a big play for Herschel, and then maybe the Saints will rise up and make a stuff in the backfield as they did that time. But this offensive line is one that has a brand new offensive line coach in Bill Muir. He's really concerned with building their self-confidence, especially the confidence of Antone Davis. He wants this big #1 draft pick of last year to get off early, get a lot of success early so that he doesn't have those confidence lapses.
2nd and we'll call it 8 as Walker comes out in motion. Randall looking to throw, but jammed now and sacked. Sacked for the 2nd time. Frank Warren and Ricky Jackson in there. And can we point the finger to that right side again?
Well, this is where Antone has a lot of troubles. Number 78. Look how quick that Ricky Jackson got off. Real wide. And then Jackson with a lot of strength there. I'm not sure Antone wasn't quite ready for all that muscle. As he pushed him away, got in on another sack.
They really got him up the middle. Frank Warren bulldozing through the inside. And it's 3rd and 15. Set up the screen for Walker. Walker out in front. Bounces around well short of the first. Jimmy Spencer helped bump them out of bounds. Punting time for the Eagles.
Jimmy Spencer was drilled by Herschel Walker as he got to the sideline there. A little 180-pounder there. Really got bounced by Herschel. But what he did is he forced him out of bounds, bringing up this punting situation.
6-3 Philadelphia with 1:11 to go in the first. Jeff Feagles. Patrick Newman. This has been a great area of concern for the Saints. The return game. Newman just can't get the job this week. Oh, and a late flag at the 36-yard line. Rookie Mark McMillan had a real quick shot at Newman. Slid by him. Personal foul against the Eagles. And the Saints will set up right around midfield.
You look around for guilty-looking people, and the most guilty
Personal
guy
foul.
looks like 57. Kowalkowski.
57 on the kicking team. 15 yards. First down.
One thing you don't want to do is take your helmet off and show everybody that you're feeling a little guilty. But look at the shot here. Well, his knee touches right there. The play should have been whistled dead at that moment. But there's the late hit there. Good call by the officials.
Scott Kowalkowski, 2nd year Notre Dame. I remember working a USC game at Notre Dame where he mixed it up with Todd Marinovich a little bit. Remember that? 1st and 10 from their own 47, the Saints. Quick pass over to Turner. Oh, he lost the football. That ball was perilously close to going out of bounds.
But the Eagles trying to pick it up and run with it. It's going to be New Orleans ball because the Eagles never gained possession of the ball. It went out of bounds. Let's watch the hit on the receiver on the outside. Allen's going to come up and make the tackle. And then he's going to get help from his buddies there. Looks like Clyde Simmons, 96. And now Byron Evans kicks the ball out of bounds, and it's going to be New Orleans ball. The Eagles are probably the best team in the league at picking those types of balls up and taking them in for scores.
Ball really never went out of bounds, but Evans was touching it while he was himself out of bounds. So the Saints get a break back at the 41. 2nd and 17 with 30 seconds to go in the first. Flags down across the middle for Turner. Broken up by Booty.
Now we're seeing some of the early season mistakes here, fumbles and penalties against both teams.
Illegal motion. Number 89 of the offense. Never set. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
You talk about the Eagles being the best maybe at scooping up those loose balls. Last year, the defense scored 4 touchdowns for Philadelphia. It seems to be an every-year occurrence.
Well, they have outstanding athletes on that defense that they like to get some headlines themselves.
4 receivers, third down, 17 to go.
Second charge, timeout.
Timeout
Eagles,
called from the secondary
40-second timeout
of the Eagles.
40 seconds.
It's 7 defensive backs in there, but a little mix-up, and they call time, their second one of the half.
They had 7 defensive backs and 5 other guys. That makes
That's
12.
the problem.
Well, let's take a look at these guys. This is what you call your prevent. Here we got 4 guys up here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, I'm not saying this is a guilty party, but he's the last guy I counted. That's 12. Heads up, though, to call the timeout. That's a heck of a prevent, though.
What was it Bobby Hebert said yesterday when you were talking to him? He said if you took our linebackers and the Eagles' defensive line of a year ago, put them on the same team, they would be outlawed by the NFL. But the problem would be too many players anyway, right?
Well, you got 4 defensive linemen for the Eagles and 4 linebackers for the Saints. You know, that means you'd only have to play with 3 defensive backs, or else you'd have 12 that way.
Third, 17. Simmons coming in on Hebert. He got it away to Hilliard. And another flag into the pile at the end. And as Hilliard motored to the Eagles' 48.
We had an offensive lineman downfield too soon. That happens very often when you have a screen pass that the timing is thrown off just a little bit. That time the Eagles got good penetration. Hebert couldn't get rid of the ball on time as he would have liked.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Number 60. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Boy, and when the guy that's downfield is big, like Derek Kennard, number 60, 300-pounder, real hard for him to hide.
So the Eagles refuse the penalty, forcing Tommy Barnhart to punt to Vai Sikahima. Her catch at the 13. Good opening quarter. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, Philadelphia 6 and New Orleans 3. Opening day sold out at the Vet, 65,000 strong. Jim Nantz and Dan Fouts, the NFL celebrating its 73rd season. 6-3 Eagles after 1. Touchdown pass from Cunningham to Walker. The extra point hit the upright. And then the Saints came back, scored on a 39-yard field goal by Morton Anderson, set up on a Randall Cunningham fumble.
I think it's safe to say that at this point, the emotions of the pregame ceremony for Jerome Brown, that has all subsided now. Both teams have settled in, and we're seeing both defenses now rise up. Remember, we're talking heavyweights, Major League. Number 1 defense last year for the Eagles, and number 2 for the Saints, and they are making their presence known.
Myers and Sherman split backs from the 14. Another penalty. About 4 or 5 consecutive plays holding against the Eagles. Will go back inside of their own 10.
Yeah, Rex Stewart, our umpire, is having a big day. He's throwing flags, and he's going to have to ice his arm here in a little bit. But you hate penalties at any time, but you really dislike them.
Holding. Number 78 of the offense. Penalties declined. 2nd down.
Well, since there's only a 1-yard pickup.
And the fact that they're on their 15-yard line already. So Antone having some problems with his confidence and his technique.
They said it was important for him to get off to a good start today.
Well, they did have that nice first drive, but since then, he's being put in some difficult situations.
Call it 2nd and 8. Second play of the first quarter, or second quarter. And Walker this time fights to the 20. It was the first play of the second quarter in the opener last year, where Randall went out with the injury.
Absolutely. I was there in Green Bay.
Let's get the update. Greg, Dumble, back to you. New York.
All right.
6-3 here. Eagles over the Saints. And the Eagles will operate from the shotgun on 3rd and 4. With a sliding catch. Vince Buck was in the area. Flag, you saw it.
Yeah, they're going to say that Byers pushed off. Buck gave the signal. The official, number 87 there, agreed with him.
Paul Widener agreeing with him. Take away the first down.
Let's check him out. Number 41, Byers in motion. It's going to go down about 5 yards. Use that right hand, and that is a real, what you might call a ticky-tack foul there. Buck did not even lose his balance or anything. And when a guy with 240 pounds is pushing on you, you would think that that would happen. But the official called it. That's all that matters right now.
Byers starting today at tight end because Maurice Johnson has a hamstring injury, and Keith Jackson has not signed. There was a rumor going around this weekend that Jackson was about to sign, but it was all a hoax.
Offensive pass interference, number 41. Still 3rd down.
Yeah, Jackson is asking for big money.
$2 million per year.
$2 million for a tight end is just not going to happen. And right now, in talking to Cunningham yesterday, the first thing he said to me was that, hey, I miss my friend at tight end there, Keith Jackson. If you add Jackson to the mix, it makes the Eagles obviously that much stronger because Byers now can go back to his H-back, running back, wide receiver position and not be burdened with having to play tight end.
So it weakens him at 2 spots. 3rd and 14. In the absence of Jackson, Saints may have jumped, but Turnbull was offside. Byers short of the first. Jimmy Spencer with a chopping tackle at the 20.
Yeah, Dale's getting a little tired of calling all these penalties. Did you see him there? A little exhale.
Offside. Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty.
You called it right. Ronaldo Turnbull. I asked defensive coordinator Steve Sidwell before the game, how much will Turnbull play? And this is a situation he wants to get him in for Ricky Jackson in obvious passing situations for 2 reasons. To give Turnbull some experience, but also to give Ricky a rest, being now that he's 34 years old in his 12th year. That rest should come in handy towards the end of the year.
3rd and 9 from the 15. Out. Punting time for the Eagles. Ball batted into the air. Couldn't tell which player. Pat Swilling was back in on Cunningham. Among others, Wayne Martin. The Eagles will stand at his own goal line with 12:50 to go in the second quarter. Philadelphia 6, New Orleans 3. Patrick Newman, second-year player from Utah State. Elbows got to it. James Williams came crashing in, and they'll call it for roughing the punter. James Williams got a piece of Fiegels.
And the question now, will it be running into the kicker or roughing the kicker? If it's roughing, it'll be a first down. If it's just running into the kicker, it'll just be 5 yards. And I think that Hamer is giving Fiegels the bad news. Yeah, running into the kicker will only be 5 yards, so that will not give the Eagles a first down.
Running into the kicker, 5 yards, repeat 4th down.
I think Williams ought to be quiet and take the 5 because that's pretty close to roughing. I mean, Fiegels is extended. He's in midair. Take another look at it. Watch the
hit there by Williams. He did try to avoid him at the last minute, and maybe that's what convinced Dale Hamer, our referee, that it was not as serious a foul.
Looked like the Eagles just landed his leg on the shoulder pads of Williams. So they'll re-kick, and this one's a beauty. Long spiral back to the 25. Newman juking. Oh, is he smothered at the 30. Ball is free, but they'll rule him down. Come on back, Kid Rose. New Orleans football at the 30. 55-yard punt. A punishing 5-yard run back.
Well, Morris said that his punt return team isn't anything special, especially his return men. Newman makes 2 moves before anybody even gets to him, and then he gets drilled by about 6 Eagles.
6-3 Eagles in the second. Well, to summarize so far, Walker with good numbers, including 57 yards on the ground, 2 receptions, including a touchdown. Randall, 80% on 5 throws. He did fumble once. Saints only 10 yards rushing. Leon Seals, acquired this week from Buffalo. I think it was a pretty smart pickup for the Eagles, Dan.
A lot of people around the league are calling the Eagles and congratulating them or moaning about what a great pickup Seals was. Biggest problem right now is terminology. He's got to rely on Mike Golick to help him with the communication.
First down for the Saints from the 30, trailing 6-3. On Dunbar, his biggest run so far, about 6, running right up the middle behind Joel Hilgenberg. Mike Golick trying to help Leon Seals understand the terminology at Philadelphia.
And Golick has taken it upon himself to learn what Seals' terminology was in Buffalo to help him out. Now, that's just for this week. Golick says, hey, listen, he's got to get it down for next week. I can't be talking foreign languages out there all year.
What was the language he came up with?
Buffaloese?
Buffaloese. Second down and 4. Dunbar collared by Joyner. Just short at the first.
For everybody that loves defense, this is their type of game, and we're lucky enough to have 2 of the very best outside linebackers in Seth Joyner for the Eagles and Pat Swilling for the Saints.
I'm sure you saw it on the NFL Today, folks, the wonderful tribute by the Eagles to their late teammate Jerome Brown. 2 players spoke, Reggie White and Seth Joyner. It's 3rd and 1. Flag into the line. Greg Hayward has the necessary yardage.
And this will come back, holding against the Saints.
Holding, number 61 in the offense. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
A lot of penalties so far for Mora's team. Joel Hilgenberg, the center, number 61, in the middle of the picture on Golick, and he turns him and puts him down. I'm not sure that should have been a penalty because there was somebody lower underneath Golick that helped with the leverage on the takedown.
Dunbar races to the sideline. Saints have the single back Hayward flanking the quarterback Hebert on 3rd and 11. Stepping forward, Hobie Brenner, first down, and finally tackled at the 48. Andre Waters took his legs away.
We talked about the Saints being shorthanded, or the Eagles rather, being shorthanded at the tight end position. Well, the Saints had to put John Tice on the injured reserve list yesterday, so that leaves them with just Brenner and first-year man Tommy Stowers, who came into camp as the 15th tight end.
By the way, Thurman Thomas has scored his 3rd touchdown of the game. For those of you in a rotisserie league, you must be feeling pretty good already.
I told you it's going to be a long year for the Rams. I didn't know it was going to be a long first half for them.
It's a whole season in one day. First down, rolling right, Hebert throws it. Good catch by Hayward. All of that effort for only 2 yards.
Yeah, he's the man the Saints affectionately call Little D.
Yeah, Little D.
Because he's built a lot along the same lines as Big D, Derek Kennard, number 60.
I never thought you'd call Craig Hayward Little anything.
Absolutely. 275 pounds, though, he told us yesterday. Very proud of that. Wonderful shape and a devastating blocker from the fullback position.
Maybe the best in the National Football League.
No maybe about it, Jim. He is the best.
Best blocking fullback. On 2nd and 8, Dunbar work in the middle. And about 4, tackled by Reggie White. So the Saints working the ground inside.
And they're taking a lot of time off the clock. They're back into their ball control mode type of offense. We see so many teams in the league now that are going to the hurry-up offense. You got Tampa Bay now with Weiss down there, and of course Buffalo. This is the exact opposite. This is the no hurry-up offense. They're not in a hurry to do anything. Except control the ball, control the tempo by slowing it down.
8:40 to go in the first half. It's 3rd down and 4. To Eric Martin at the 19-yard line. Just signed a couple of days ago. He's been playing golf in the meantime, about 45 holes a day. And he hauls in the big catch, set him up inside the 20.
Yeah, a nice soft touch by Hebert over Wes Hopkins' head, right in there before the other safety can get over on the play. Wonderful pass protection by Stan Brock on Reggie White. This is a battle we're going to see all day long. The key there, though, is 61, Hilgenberg, coming over, taking away the inside.
Dunbar slashing a bit and tackled at 17. For Martin now, 74 straight games he's caught a pass. The Saints' record, 79. Might be beaten out because Danny Abramowitz, great legendary Saint, they love him down in New Orleans. He holds the all-time record. Eric Martin moving in on him now. 74 straight games, 5 behind.
Yeah, he's only had really 2 hard practices, Wednesday and Thursday, but he is a veteran. And all those catches, all those yards, all those touchdowns, you know he's going to be ready at any time.
2nd and 9. Some thought this might be the game the streak would end. But he's seeing playing time. He set him up inside the 20. Good time for Hebert. The pass, almost caught for a touchdown. Turner had it for a moment, but broken up by Eric Allen.
Yeah, another guy that just signed this week. Who needs training camp?
Yeah, really. Let's do away with it.
Well, as a player, I always thought that was a good idea. But the Pro Bowl player, Eric Allen, with an outstanding play at the very last minute. It appeared that Turner had him beat. The ball appears to be in good shape, but the right hand of Allen strips it away and prevents the touchdown.
6 defensive backs in, including Eric Allen. 2-time Pro Bowler. 3rd and 9. Hebert steps forward. He'll run for it. He won't get it. Andre Waters came up to hit him first. Going a little jawing back with Waters.
You know, Hebert is always involved, and so is this young man, Andre Waters. Hebert, the fiery leader of the Saints. Disappointed he didn't pick up the first down, but he did prevent a turnover, and he's going to set up Anderson from about 31-32 for the tying points.
Intermittent drizzle now falling on a 31-yard attempt to tie it. Anderson 2 for 2. So 6-6, the Saints on 2 field goals, the Eagles on a touchdown and a missed PAT. Leon Seals with a little equipment alteration.
Hey, he brought those crummy pads from Buffalo with him.
He did travel lightly, didn't he?
Yeah, he showed up with just one warm-up suit and one pair of underwear.
I hope he's had time to shop this week. And from the 9, Walker twists to the 25. 6:07 to go, second quarter. Timeout of the field, tied at 6. Trying to play the role of Jimmy Connors from 91.
So who do you like?
Courier. He took out Connors last year in the semifinals.
He's a party pooper.
First down for the Eagles from the 25. Walker rushes away from the defender, but caught from behind by Swilling. Ball is free and recovered, I believe, by the Saints. New Orleans football. Pat Swilling forces the fumble.
And Robert the Pig Golf swallowed it.
Nope. Blanketed it.
Watch Swilling blanket Cunningham from behind, left side of the screen. Randall steps up into the pocket. He has no idea 56 is coming. But that's Swilling's first sack of the year. Cunningham's second turnover of this first half. Saints will take over inside the 30. There's a man who refers to himself as the Pig, Robert Goff.
And there's Pat Swilling.
I always want to add that disclaimer. I don't want people thinking,
right,
that's why I refer to him.
Sure, you came up with that.
Mr.
I know.
Goff.
From the 26. Saints and Eagles tied at 6. Time for Hebert. Again, it's Martin. And this time, short game, maybe 4.
What we're seeing now, Jim, I think is really very typical trademark offense of Jim Mora's football teams. Probably the most patient teams in the NFL. Among them, ball control, short passing. Mora right now is thinking, I'm going to get 3 points out of this possession. Some coaches would be thinking about a touchdown, but he wants those 3 to go ahead.
Second and 6. Joyner wrestles him down. Sometimes I think with Morton Anderson on your team, you get a little less aggressive because you know you've got 3 guaranteed with that man.
Yeah, and number 59 right here, watch him. He's got to stay with Dunbar the whole way. Nobody comes out and blocks Joyner, which could be a bit of a mistake. He runs through the hole created by the offensive line and makes the tackle.
3rd and 6 with Early to the right, Martin and Turner to the left. Got one-on-one on the right side and incomplete. Going for Quinn Early.
When you play blitzing type of defenses, as the Eagles did that time, your corners have to cover. Fantastic play by Izell Jenkins on Quinn Early in the end zone.
Now they'll bring out Morton Anderson.
You know, a lot of teams play for field position. I really firmly believe that Mora and the Saints play for field goal position. Get this guy inside of 50 yards, and you're almost guaranteed of coming away with 3 points.
There's no other team that really plays with that strategy, is there?
No, the thing that's scary, though, is the tendonitis in Anderson's left knee. Already, he's put 3 through.
A 41-yarder this time.
Not that one.
Partially blocked, I believe. And 6-6 it remains.
We thought we heard something, and it was Clyde Simmons' ring finger of his right hand. Number 96 comes up with the deflection that sends this ball just wide. Number 96 in the middle of the picture, and if you've got real good eyes, you're going to see his ring finger bend back right there. He got it.
Anderson missing on the 41-yarder, 6-6 to score, and Heath Sherman, the runner, for about a yard for Philadelphia with 4 minutes to go in the half. Robert Pig Goff on the tackle.
Eagle offense really hasn't done much of anything since that opening drive. 2 fumbles by Cunningham. And the Eagles really are lucky to not be behind at this point.
Second down 9. After a very active first quarter, Herschel Walker hasn't had many carries here in the second. Hanging out on the sideline with the catch, Alvin Williams. First down, Eagles at the 37.
One of the adjustments that Cunningham will have to make with Keith Jackson not being here is going more to his wide receivers on obvious running down situations, whereas before he would throw a lot to Byers and Jackson. He likes to refer to his wide receivers as the guys that catch touchdown passes, but the really important receivers are Byers and Jackson, but we're seeing a change in that so far.
Gain of 13. First down. Herschel wrapped quickly by Wayne Martin. Les Miller says, hey, wait a minute, I got it.
Yeah, old big country there.
Yeah. Sorry, not this time.
I played with Les Miller back in 1987. He was a member of our replacement squad, or however you want to refer to those fellas. But he came to camp. He had red hair, red beard, and everything. We started calling him Yosemite Sam. Sir.
Sir. Yeah, make sure he had Sir on the backside of that with his size. Warren Moon has thrown 3 interceptions, but the Oilers lead the Steelers 17-10. Second down and 8. Pass was too low for Byers to really run with it, so he slides at the 45. Third and about 3 coming up. Reginald Jones on the tackle. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Kind of what we expected, too. Game tied 6-6.
Block by Clyde Simmons is the first block for an Eagle since 1988. Kotite wanted to improve his special teams this year, so he went out and hired Larry Pasquale, who was with him for 7 years back with the Jets. There's Larry right there, and already the special teams have come up big, but also come up bad because Ruzek missed an extra point that would have given the Eagles 7 points.
Third down 3. And Randall will operate from the shotgun. Barrels it over to Herschel. That caught him by surprise. And bouncing out of bounds at the 41. Nifty play for the Eagles. And a run of 14 yards.
Herschel still has the speed, and when you get him outside, watch the shovel pass. Little lateral to Herschel. Now he's out behind big Antone Davis and picks up the big first down. That is a wonderful play from the shotgun position. We also might see Herschel take the ball on a direct snap from this formation.
Beautiful timing on that one. And he's down at the 28 of New Orleans. Some had questioned, had the Eagles had enough repetitions to get their timing down, with Williams and Barnett signing late and Cunningham missing the final preseason game.
And Cunningham only threw 22 passes the entire preseason. Looks sharp though so far today.
7 out of 8. And the ball.
That was the direct snap to Herschel. Took his eye off it. And fortunately for the Eagle fans, fell on top of it. A little over anxious there for Herschel Walker.
Cunningham went left, and the short snap to Walker. You had called it just a play before.
Well, we watched him in practice working on it. Watch the ball will hit Herschel between the thumbs there, and he just flat drops.
There he is now. Walker cutting past Troy Cook. Got a good block, too, from Williams, and he's down at the 25, still short of the first.
Randall only has 1 timeout remaining, so he's going to hustle the team up to the line of scrimmage and save that last timeout for a possible field goal try.
Third down and 7. Byers wide open. Out of bounds to stop the clock with the first down at the 15. Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights, plus an update from the U.S. Open. Byers that time lined up as a wide receiver, and he...
Well, heads-up play by Byers. Not only do you make the grab and pick up the first down, but he turned right away, looked for the out-of-bounds, got it, stopped the clock, preserving that important final timeout. Watch as he just takes the ball right to the sideline. Smart player, Keith Byers.
Let's watch Cunningham use the last 33 seconds of that tied 6-6. Going to the end zone, a little contact. No interference. Barnett wanted it.
Reginald Jones was all over him. And congratulations from Vince Buck, but that's a nice play by Reggie Jones. Barnett had no separation at all on his pass route. Watch on the left side. This ball will be floated to the outside, and there's no contact at all that I can see. Barnett obviously felt something.
It's only the second incompletion for Cunningham. He's 9 out of 11, most of the short variety for 68 yards and a touchdown. Second and 10, here's another one. Walker. Down at the 2. They'll have to use their last timeout. He hurdled over Gene Atkins. First and goal from the 2 with 18 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining.
You got to hand it to Kotite and his offensive coaches for coming up with a few new wrinkles to take advantage of Herschel Walker's abilities as a pass receiver and also running with the ball in the open. You know, you have these little laterals, and now there's a little swing pass, a little screen here, and it's the speed of Walker that sets up the Eagles inside the 5-yard line. Good job of Gene Atkins not giving away anything at the goal line, staying with the man and making the tackle.
Now what will they do without any timeouts and 18 seconds on the clock?
Well, you have to go back and remember that they called timeout earlier in this first half twice because the play clock was running down. That shows a little bit of lack of discipline as far as their offense is concerned, but they have to throw the ball here on this play and perhaps the next play. I don't think they can afford to just pound away and risk using up these last 18 seconds.
Byers and Beach are the tight ends, Sherman and Walker in the backfield. Fake, roll out, throw, oh! Just out of the extended arms of Sherman, and a flag is on the field.
Let's see which team starts clapping first. We'll know who it's against.
Number 75 was an eligible receiver. He did report.
Well, they said that Rob Selby reported to the officials. One of the officials saw him lined up as a tight end. Did not get the word that Selby had reported as an eligible receiver.
That was a well-executed play with the fakes and all, but Cunningham missed the open target.
Yeah, in the open target, Keith Sherman was stumbling as he came out of his break. Really couldn't gather to make a last-ditch dive for it either.
So now a different strategy on second down with 14 seconds to go. They spread them out and drop back to the shotgun. Cunningham, the Myers. He could not get in. A yard shy, and it'll be third and goal from the 1.
Vince Buck with the big play at the goal line. You know, Jim, you hear of goal line stances when you talk about defenses, but we've seen 2 defensive backs for the Saints now make big goal line stances. Gene Atkins on Herschel Walker, and now Vince Buck on Keith Byers. Buck is injured.
Gives the Eagles time to come over and talk. Vince Buck coming off of for a while there, a horrifying looking injury against San Francisco with a pinched nerve in the neck.
And I talked to him about that earlier this week. Said he went to 5 to 7 doctors in the off season and finally got medical clearance from a Dr. Watkins in LA, part of the Joe Curlin group out there. This has nothing to do, I believe, with his neck. It appears to be some type of leg injury, but the thing that he told me about the neck injury is it's forced him to become a better tackler. He felt before that he always had to go for the big hit and not so much worry about technique. Well, with the neck injury, he wants to keep his head out of the tackle, use his shoulders and his arms more, and he feels he's a better tackler.
Buck, the one member of the secondary from a year ago that did not hold out, Maxey and Atkins, the safeties, came on 2 weeks ago, and Toy Cook was also a late signee and did not start today. Reginald Jones instead.
But, you know, you get back to the Eagles, and what are they going to do here? They got 10 seconds. It's 3rd and 1. Can they risk going over the top with a running play? How much right now do they miss Keith Jackson?
Would you dare make 2 attempts at the end zone if you fail on the first, or do you go ahead and kick the field goal?
Absolutely, you got to kick the field goal on 4th down. This will be a pass play. Probably put Cunningham on the move, get him out of the pocket, and let him make the decision out there whether to throw it or run it in. Great to have that type of athlete playing quarterback for you.
And to further utilize that, they'll spread them out. The receivers, 4 of them. Walker in the backfield. 10 seconds to go, no timeouts. Barnett knocked away. Beautiful play by Reginald Jones. And wasting no time, Roger Ruzek comes onto the field.
This was a good route by Barnett, a good throw by Cunningham, and a better play by Reginald Jones. 2 big plays now for Jones on this possession.
So the Eagles had 3 pops at it from the 2 and in, and they failed to produce the touchdown. Ruzek to give the Eagles the lead, 9-6. It's a 19-yarder.
We got Frank Warren moving a little early. This shouldn't change anything, though.
Coach Mitch, defense, after this is their goal. Still 4th down.
Right to the edge of the goal line. Not tempting enough for Rich Kotite. He wants the 3. He wants the lead at the half.
65,000 Eagle fans want a touchdown.
65,000 coaches. Call it 18 yards. Good snap, good hold, good kick.
And good defense by the Saints. And the guys that don't get any of the publicity for the Saints when you talk about their defense, their secondary really made the plays there. We saw 2 fine plays by Reginald Jones. Atkins makes the tackle on Walker at the goal line, and then Vince Buck stops Keith Byers. So these 4, along with Brett Maxey, are performing extremely well under very hazardous situations there. Looked like for sure that Walker was going to get in. He was wide open coming down there, but Atkins made the big stop.
9-6 Philadelphia. Touchdown pass on the opening drive. Cunningham to Walker covering 2 yards. The extra point hit the right upright. But then the Saints came back. Connected on a 39-yard field goal by Morton Anderson. He added another field goal to tie the game 6-all. Later had a 41-yard attempt, partially blocked by Clyde Simmons, that would have given the Saints the lead 9-6. And then the Eagles, here right before the half, drive it to the 1, cannot push it across or throw it into the end zone for a touchdown, and settle for the Ruzek field goal and the lead.
And I'm sure that we're not through talking about missed opportunities. The ball that hit the upright by Ruzek and the blocked field goal of Clyde Simmons against Morton Anderson. We're going to be talking about that because this game is going to be a 3-pointer until it's over, I'm sure.
Aiming it for the corner. McAfee run it out and run out the clock in the first half. So 9-6 Eagles over the Saints through 2 quarters. Have the football first in the second half. Total yards, New Orleans 111 and the Eagles 167. Continues to drizzle at the Vet. Overcast skies, and Ruzek McAfee at the 6. Flag into the back end of that. Run back at the 26. Dale Hammer, our referee today. Pirates lead in the 4th. Houston's been hot lately.
Offside, number 85 of the kicking team, holding on the receiving team. Penalties offset, free kick.
And both teams are real excited about that, having to re-kick the ball. The offsides, again, that's really an inexcusable mistake. You can pardon the illegal block a little bit more, but being offsides on a kickoff, that's just plain stupid.
A lot of folks in this area will be interested tomorrow to see the Redskins and the Cowboys debut, as it figures to be a three-way battle in the NFC East with Philadelphia, Dallas, and Washington.
Yeah, we asked Richie Kotite to break it down, the NFC East, the best division in football, yesterday. He told us that although the Giants are a little bit in disarray right now and the people are down on them, that they're still the Giants. You still have to go up there to New York and beat them. Phoenix, he feels that he doesn't understand why, but his team always finds a way of losing to the Cardinals. They play them next week. He feels that this is going to be the year that we find out whether Dallas is for real or not. And when he talks about Washington, he says, well, Washington's Washington. Joe Gibbs, best coach in football. They're going to be tough always.
My hunch is that the Giants are in for a long year. I just don't see the players playing for Ray Handlake.
Well, they certainly didn't play for him last year as they went 8-8.
And the re-kick. This time it's Hilliard from the 10. Some punishing blows in there as he gets out to the 28. 17 yards on the return.
That's good.
Now, we talked about the East. The West last year finished this way with New Orleans 11-5, winning its first ever divisional title in the 25th anniversary season for the Saints, followed by Atlanta, the team that knocked them out of the playoffs, and the 49ers, who did not get in, even though they finished so strong.
49ers are going to be back in a big way. That defense of theirs, the most underrated in football.
Brenner on a wing to the right. On Dunbar. And the rookie has really struggled to see any daylight at all today. That's now 10 carries for Dunbar for 20 yards. There's no gain. Call it no gain on that play. Word on Vince Buck is that he has sprained a knee, and it's doubtful he'll return today.
And more bad news for the Saints as Hobie Brenner goes off the field. Appears to be holding his shoulder. And remember, the tight end position for the Saints is precarious at best. Now with Brenner out, Tommy Stowers comes in.
Stowers lined up on the right side. Martin in a slot to the right. Second and 10. Hebert work in the middle. Stowers right through his arms. Hebert 7 out of 12 for 82 yards.
Yeah, Stowers comes in. Hebert throws him a ball just a little bit behind him, and it's tough for Stowers to get his body turned to make that catch. This is the real concern here. You see Brenner flexing his left hand, and the trainer's talking about that left shoulder.
3rd and 10 to the shotgun for the Saints, who trail 9-6, opening minutes of the second half. Long pass for Carroll, and intercepted by Andre Waters. The ball was deflected by Jenkins. Waters has it on the return. Philadelphia will have its first possession of the second half from the New Orleans 45. And Jenkins tipped it. Waters with a beautiful catch.
This ball is hung up in the air for a long time, and that gives Jenkins a chance to come from the outside off his man and make the play. Waters with the heads-up grab sets up the team inside the 50.
Andre Waters with the interception, the Saints' first turnover. And the Eagles will start from the 45 of New Orleans with a 9-6 lead. Walker for 3.
We'll take a look at the interception. Here is Isaiah Jenkins on the outside. He's going to help on Wesley Carroll on the inside, but I think this ball just hangs up in the air too long, because you see Jenkins come off his responsibility, come over, tip the ball, and Waters makes the interception. Now the question is, should Waters have been ruled down back there? Watch as his knee will land on top of Wesley Carroll, and we don't get the call.
2nd and 7. Rifling to the right side. Just shy of the first. Maybe they'll give him forward progress for the first. Alvin Williams. I think you could have made a case that Waters should have been ruled down right after the interception back at the 30 of Philadelphia.
It's a moot point at this time. Good spot there by the officials. They did give him forward progress for the first down.
And a moot point this year. We'll have no more reviews and replays on calls like that. Cunningham, 12 for 16, 90 yards. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. First down from the New Orleans 35. Sliding for 5, Randall.
Talking to him yesterday about his outlook on the game, what's he going to do in these type of situations. Said we want to throw on first down, but the important thing for me to remember is be patient. Don't throw the ball away out of bounds. I'm going to take it up the field, get as much as I can, then slide on the turf. Stay out of those 2nd and long, 3rd and long nickel situations that the Saints defense excels so much at.
2nd and 5. Walker bangs inside for 4. Sam Mills on the hit.
One of the interesting things that Cunningham told us yesterday about being out for that entire year last year is he realized watching McMahon get beat up and the other quarterbacks, Gable, Kemp, Pat Ryan, all of them in there, realized just what a dangerous game this game in the National Football League really is.
He didn't know it before?
He's got a lot better idea. He'd never been hurt before until that tragic injury last year.
3rd and 1. Walker gets the yard and more. Inside the 15 and down to the 12. Shad and Alexander opened it up for a 14-yard run.
Well, let's take a look at Alexander here, and there's big Eric Floyd. Don't even have to look at his number to tell that's who he is there, number 61. But Shad does a nice athletic job of getting around the block and getting on Mills, and Walker into the secondary for the first down.
10 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Philadelphia 9, New Orleans 6. Walker for about 2. Did he fumble? Yes, ball is free.
They're digging and scratching right now.
Saints football.
Let's take a look at it. It appears he's just standing up and somebody's going to spike the ball out of his hands here. Vaughn Johnson, 53, one of the guys in there. But that's the 3rd turnover on a fumble by the Eagles this afternoon.
Brett Maxey on the recovery.
Take a look at the fumble. This is their 3rd fumble of the afternoon. Walker is going to get stood up here, and if we can stop it right there, you're going to see that right hand come in. That's Frank Warren. He pops the ball loose, and he's going to get a lot of help from his teammates. Right there, the ball hits the ground. And the Saints with another big turnover for their defense.
That is now 3 turnovers committed by Philadelphia, all fumbles, plus the blown touchdown opportunity before the half by the Eagles. Their fakes, dumps it over. Hayward, ooh. Boy, he saw him coming too, didn't he? William Thomas was in the area.
You know, I watched Hebert the last 2 passes, Jim, and I don't see his ball. The interception, the ball was floated. That time, you saw Hayward have to reach back for the ball because he knew the time was running out. He was about to get tagged. You wonder about Hebert with his shoulder surgery in the offseason and the fact that he has not been able to throw in double days at both practices, just how strong that right shoulder is.
Hobie Brenner is back, man. He's lined up on a wing to the right. 2nd down and 10. Dunbar. Pretty good run for 4. And had a lineman in his face right after the handoff. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Saints. Last year, 8-minute advantage for New Orleans. Time of possession, that was tops in the league. However, today, another score. 6-minute edge for the Eagles. 3rd down, 5. Hilliard in for the Saints. And open, 1st down, New Orleans. Turner cuts it to the inside. Nice running after the reception by Floyd Turner. Broke away from Izell Jenkins. A gain of 18.
That's one of the things the Saints do probably better than any other team in the league, is their receivers will catch a lot of short intermediate passes and then be asked by the coaches to pick up the 1st down after the catch. That time Turner went into no man's land, turning it back over the middle where all those big bodies are, but came up with a real nice gain. Gets him out of the hole.
Hayward's the single back. Gets it away in the area of Hayward. Reggie White trying to register a sack.
When we talk about strong, Reggie White, watch this play. At the end of the line of scrimmage here against Stan Brock, he's just going to dive at Hebert and gets him off balance. And Hebert does a nice job of unintentionally grounding that one. Reggie's still looking for his 1st sack of the afternoon.
Line him up in the eye with Hayward and Dunbar. 2nd and 10. Dunbar, flag in there as he made it across the 40, a gain of about 7 or 8. Coming back. The Hebert you mentioned.
Holding, offense, number 61, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
You mentioned, Dan, that he had the off-season surgery on his right rotator cuff and a separated shoulder as well, and really played a large part of the time last year with that separated shoulder.
Well, he is a tough young man and a tremendous leader, a guy that has faced some adversity, but has really come into his own these last couple of years.
2nd and 20. Midway through the 3rd quarter, Philadelphia 9, New Orleans 6. Hebert gets free rolling right. Simmons after him. Ooh. Incomplete. Simmons wanted in the grasp, but it's ruled an incompletion to Quinn Early.
Well, Clyde had 13 sacks last year. Reggie had 15. The Eagles had 55 altogether. They're still shut out. Simmons is on the right side of the defensive line. He's going to just run down the line of scrimmage here and get to Hebert just a second too late. They'd be real lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
This is where the Saints really have a hard time. They don't have big playability, and it's 3rd and 20.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't run the draw play here.
An attempted screen that never materialized.
And that's the draw play's cousin there, the screen pass.
Distant cousin.
There's not a whole lot of screens or draws that are designed to pick up 20 yards. But that's the nature of Jim Mora and this Saint offense. Very, very conservative.
Barnhart into punt. Averaging 42 yards on his 2 first-half kicks. Sikahema and Seidner back on the return. 2-man deep for Philadelphia. Sikahema. Ooh, let's go, and it goes out of bounds at the 27. So, 7:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. That was a 50-yard punt. The Eagles continue to lead by a field goal. By Sikahema. Picked up in the offseason, formerly with the Cardinals, last year with Green Bay, and what an addition to the special teams here. Even 34 yards on the run back. On the Saints 42, Walker has his 100 and more. 12 yards on that carry.
Real good push on the right side. You see Byers, number 41, lined up at tight end next to Anton Davis. He is working on the double team, then he comes off for the middle linebacker, Vaughn Johnson. Doesn't really hit anybody, but he got in his way. Nice job on the outside of Calvin Williams contributing to the play. Nice gain on first down for a first down.
That's the first time an Eagle back has run for 100 yards since November of 90. 16 carries, 108 yards. What's this time? What we've seen on the last couple of plays, 2 acquisitions in the offseason really boost the Eagles. Sikahema and Walker.
And let's not forget Larry Pasquale, the new coordinator of the special teams. He promised Richie that special teams would be better. Pasquale was with the Chargers last year, and they led the league in overall special teams.
They've already fumbled in this quarter at the Saints 10. Just seconds prior to the half, they failed in 3 attempts to get it into the end zone from the 2-yard line. Leading 9-6. Good catch. Barnett picks it off his right shoulder pad. Maybe a yard shy of the first.
Real good timing that time between Cunningham and Barnett. You saw as Barnett whipped his head around, that ball was right on him. Watch as Cunningham lets this one go a little bit early, and Barnett just snags it. Comes up just about a yard short.
Like he had some of that stickum up there on his shoulder.
It's stuck, I know that.
3rd and a yard. Walker called on to get that tough yard. He is close. Sam Mills jumped in there to try to make the stop short.
Now decision time. It appears he is short. Brings up 4th and short. They go for it. That'll make everybody happy here, especially if they make it.
Let's check them out now. Short yardage. They've struggled with it, especially at the end of the first half. But with no timeouts, they had to go to the air game. Now, 4th and less than a yard. Over the top. They'll have it.
Interesting formation that time. Most of the time you see teams in the I formation in a short yardage situation. Cunningham picks up the first down on probably the oldest play in football, the quarterback sneak.
And the last play of the third quarter. The Eagles will start the final 15 minutes driving from the Saints 20. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Philadelphia 9, New Orleans 6. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. What do you think of the way Randall Cunningham has handled himself today? Not trying to be Superman all the time.
Well, what he's done is given the ball to Herschel for over 100 yards, but he's also thrown the ball to 5 different receivers, so he's not taking it all upon himself to make all the plays. He's distributing the ball to all his teammates.
Lunged for the first down at the end of the third. Now we start the fourth quarter. Eagles lead 9-6. First down from the Saints 20.
Did it all on that play. He got Herschel lined up on the right side of the formation, called an audible, and threw a perfect strike to Barnett for the score.
Ruza missed the other attempt. Another bad snap, blocked. So 0 for 2 on the point after. Tyrone Leggett blocked that one.
The Saints special teams are improved as well this year. It might have been a bad snap from Dave Alexander.
20-yard scoring pass.
Well, Cunningham makes the audible, anticipating the blitz, the single coverage on the outside, and then the perfect strike to a guy that has great ability to get up in the air, Fred Barnett. Fool me once, shame on me, something like that, right?
What's the rest of it, though?
Fool me twice, shame on thee.
Okay.
All right.
21 carries, 100 yards now for Walker. 15-6 Eagles. 8:50 remaining. Patrick Newman. Down at the 30. Jeff Seidner. Great tackle after a 50-yard punt.
Now we're into a punting contest, a game of field position, but for the Saints, time is running out. 8:43 to go in the game, down by 9. Hebert with a frigid hand here in the second half.
And how does this team come back when you're down 2 scores? How do they do it?
They have to throw the ball to do it, and they have to find some way of protecting the quarterback. One way is to have Ironhead in there pass blocking.
He's in there along with Dunbar in the backfield. Hebert hit when he released it. Interception, Hopkins. Reggie White forced the bad throw, and it was only a question of which Eagle would intercept.
Well, they were fighting over it, I guarantee you. Watch Reggie from the left side gets away from his man, and Hebert, the ball is deflected, and Hopkins comes over and beats out 2 other guys for the interception. Watch the hit by Reggie White. An instant late for the sack, but the interception is 100 times better.
He's thrown 2 interceptions in this half.
And Reggie knew that there was a chance that one was going to be picked off. Did you see him look up the field?
I see him dancing. Derek Allen looked like he would have had it easily. Hopkins secures it. Walker. And Swilling with the first contact.
We talked about Keith Byers playing tight end. Here he is working against the best linebacker in football, Pat Swilling. And Swilling does a nice job of neutralizing the block and coming off and making the tackle. That's asking Keith Byers to do an awful lot, blocking that guy.
Byers isn't crazy about playing tight end.
No.
Gave himself a C for his first start. Preseason finale against the Jets. Cunningham, while going down, hits Byers. All the way to the New Orleans 40.
That may do it for New Orleans. That first down will take the clock down inside of 7 minutes. Cunningham finding his security blanket, if you will, and Byers picking up the first down. Cunningham close to being sacked that time, but shows you what type of athlete he is. The guy was down around his left leg where that knee brace is on his left knee, and it didn't seem to bother Randall at all.
5 catches for 40 yards for Byers. 7 minutes remaining. 15-6, Philadelphia. Good Robert Goff come in there at the end and lower the shoulder.
We're seeing Philadelphia play it close to the vest here. The last 2 first downs, they've handed the ball to Walker for minimal gains. The big play, though, was the pass to Byers. They can't really afford to pound it against these Saints. The Saints are going to have 8 men up on the line of scrimmage, so Cunningham and Kotite are going to have to decide on throwing the ball if they want to take the rest of this clock all the way down.
Byers comes out to an ovation. Joseph in as a tight end. And Walker lost his helmet. And is about a yard short of the first.
Thankfully, there's no head inside that helmet. You hate when that happens.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Let's see who tries to decapitate Mr. Walker here. Well, he's lucky he didn't get knocked out there. A lot of guys hitting him after that helmet was gone.
Atlanta jumped out to 17-0 against the Jets, but here come New York Jets with Browning nickel. Here's a snap again to Walker. And again, you can't fool me twice.
Well, you can't fool thee twice either. You know, that first time they ran the play, Herschel fumbled it. This time the Saints were in the playbook.
So now Roger Ruzek will attempt a field goal over 50 yards. He's made an 18-yarder, but missed on the 2 extra points, both really as a result of bad snaps. Oh, a timeout on the field with 5 minutes exactly remaining and a 9-point Philly lead. So after the Eagles timeout, they've decided to punt.
I think with the problems with the snaps from Alexander to the holder on the extra points, that Kotite feels, hey, let's just pin them back and see if the Saints can drive against this defensive line.
The Eagles led the NFL in punts inside the 20 last year. Patrick Newman creeping up to about the 16-yard line. They draw the Saints off. They won't bite, and they'll take the delay penalty.
Now, will the Saints accept it or just leave it where it's at? I'd leave it where it's at. And so will Jim Mora.
Delay of game, offense, penalties declined, 4th down.
We're looking at backup quarterback Mike Buck.
He may be coming in. Still got the warm-up jacket on and the golf hat, but he's warming up.
Eagles. And that's why the Saints are happy they refused that penalty. We'll bring it out to the 20, and let's check it. See if Hebert will be replaced. No, Hebert will remain the quarterback. And it gives us a chance to talk about the fact that Buck has moved up to number 2 on the depth chart ahead of Steve Walsh.
Talked to Jim Mora about that yesterday, and he said that he likes the zing of Mike Buck. That right arm of his is stronger than Steve Walsh. He said there's nothing that Steve Walsh did, but given the opportunity that Buck was presented in the preseason, all the plays, he felt more than that is, felt that Buck earned the backup job because of that strong right arm and the potential in the future.
Gotta love that zing. It's needed 2 scores in the final 5 minutes, and that pass deflected at the line of scrimmage.
That might have been the rookie Tommy Jeter.
It was
his
indeed.
first action.
Jeter, rookie from Texas, taken in the 3rd round, got a hand on it.
There he is, number 98, right in the middle of the screen. Doesn't get much of a pass rush against Kennard, but what he does is he stops, sees the quarterback, gets his left hand up, and that's as good a play as sacking the quarterback, almost.
Back to their 4-receiver set with 4:47 remaining. Down 15-6. 2nd and 10. First down, New Orleans. Floyd Turner.
Hebert's got to hurry the offense up now. He's going to call this play from the line of scrimmage as they pick up the first down. No time to waste. 4.5 minutes to go.
Quickly, crossing pattern, Turner. Those won't help a whole lot. 4 yards and the clock will run.
And what we're seeing now is the Eagles content to just rush 4 linemen at Hebert, drop off the remaining 7 and into their zones and let Hebert pick away and use up time off the clock.
They have all of their timeouts. They hand it off to Hilliard. Good looking play to the 46 of Philadelphia. That is only the 7th first down of the game for New Orleans.
That's why the Eagles were number 1 against the run, against the pass, and total defense last year.
So the chain gang hurries in place. 3:30 remaining. Sideline pattern going long, and the Saints have it. The completion by Early at the 10. .37 yards. Izell Jenkins on the coverage.
And out of bounds to stop the clock. It appeared Jenkins had the inside position, but that ball surprised him. Hebert really gets it out there nicely. The ball carries just far enough to Early, and now he falls out of bounds, stopping the clock at the 10-yard line. Saints showing their championship medal.
Looking for their first touchdown. Trailing 15-6. Timeout. Ooh.
Play clock was almost down to 0, and Hebert had to call timeout. That could really be costly.
Leaves the Saints with 2.
This is very unusual. Watch Jenkins here, and this is Early. Jenkins' responsibility is to just get down here in the deep third of the field and not let anybody get behind him. It's just a plain zone defense, and this is a cardinal sin of any defender in a zone defense is to let somebody get behind you, and I know Izell's going to hear about that one from Bud Carson, among others.
3:20 remaining. They're down 9. They need 2 scores. The Eagles have missed 2-point afters and really numerous other chances in New Orleans territory. And Hebert, who has really had an awful second half.
But he's a competitor, and he has competed on this drive, hanging in there. This is a tough situation for a quarterback, especially against this front four of the Eagles.
You have to give him a lot of credit for the way he has come back on this drive. He sends 3 receivers to the left. Rolls out to the end zone, and touchdown New Orleans. Wesley Carroll.
I tell you, Bobby Hebert does a great job on this play, Jim, of avoiding a man coming free. Wes Hopkins came on the safety blitz. Nobody picked him up. Hebert rolled away from him, found his receiver Carroll for the touchdown. Great play by Bobby Hebert.
He had been 1 out of 13 in this half with 2 interceptions before this drive. And on this drive, 4 out of 4, 54 yards, and the touchdown strike. High snap fielded by Barnhart, and it's 15-13 Philadelphia.
Hopkins is going to come from the outside here on the safety blitz. Watch Hebert, see him coming free. There he is right there along with Joyner. Nobody blocks him, but Hebert still has the ability to run around back there, avoids the sack from Reggie White, finds Carroll for the touchdown. Great play. He wasn't even looking at Hopkins till the very last minute.
Carroll with great awareness, too. Got him down.
And you know, the one thing we haven't missed today is having to stop play to review things further by way of instant replay. I don't miss it at all. Been a great ball game for an opener.
Hey, let's get an update. The Bears next Sunday. Now with 3:14 to go and 2 timeouts, they kick away. Walker takes the short kick at the 15 and out to the 33.
You talk about a disappointing kickoff when the Saints needed to kick one out of the back of the end zone to, number 1, have the Eagles start on the 20, and number 2, to take no time off the clock. Morton Anderson comes up with a chili dip down to the 15-yard line. Got under it a little bit too much. Got a little too much sod.
I know that expression from the golf course.
You did wince a little bit when I said chili. That was a whole bowl of chili there.
Gary McCord calls it a Hormel shot. Chili dip.
Well, he's got that Hormel contract, doesn't he?
It's all gravy for him now. And from the 33, for some reason coming out looking to throw. They sack Cunningham for a 6-yard loss. Wayne Martin is having a big day.
And when you sack Cunningham today, you're risking a couple of things. Number 1, injury, and number 2, fumbles. We've seen him fumble 3 times already. Interesting call. Now the Saints have called timeout to stop the clock.
That's the 6th sack of Cunningham today.
That sack almost guarantees that the Saints will get one more shot at it on offense.
Pittsburgh has come back to lead the Oilers now, 29-24. Yes, we could be setting up for a Morton Anderson game-winning field goal attempt, because it's 2nd and we'll call it 17 for the Eagles when they put the ball back into play.
That would be very characteristic of the way Mora and his Saints like to play. Get the big gun there, number 7, in range. And range for Anderson. Last year, he had a 60-yarder against the Bears.
You wonder if he's lost any of that distance, though, with that tendonitis in his kicking knee.
Saw him before the game. He looked awfully strong.
Well, we'll call it 2nd and 16 at CBS. 3:02 remaining. Who jumped? How about that run?
Not only who jumped, but who didn't make the tackle. Saints are offsides here. Now the decision, do you take the penalty, 2nd and 10, or do you bring up 3rd down and what, about 7 yards? See what Kotite decides. They're still talking about it over here.
You might take the penalty just to give yourself another down to use.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Yeah, that's a good call, Jim, by you and by Kotite, because a 3rd and 6 or 7 situation is not the best one to be in, especially against this defense of the Saints. So they'll take back that fine gain, but they will gain, if you will, in the same sentence, the same word, an extra down.
Second down and 11. In the shotgun. 2:54 to go. Overthrows Byers. The pocket was beginning to collapse on Cunningham. Gene Atkins on the coverage. So the Saints 1 down away from getting the ball back.
You hear so many times defenses say we got to stay in our pass rush lanes when you face Cunningham. Watch Cunningham in the pocket here. He'll start looking around. Watch everybody just kind of stays in the lanes as they rush Cunningham. Don't let him get out running. Watch, he's starting to look for a place to run here. Pocket collapses and he throws it away.
3rd and 11. The Saints, I believe, jumped again. 3 down for the Eagles. And that's going to be interference. The defender had his back turned, Reginald Jones. Fred Barnett was the target. Saints getting a little jumpy.
Offside on the defense. That was declined. Pass interference. The 26 on the defense. Always accepted. First down.
26-yard penalty, but more important, the Eagles move it into Saints territory, keep possession with 2:43 to go.
And remember, the Saints only have 1 timeout remaining. Left side of the screen, there's the offsides. That's the one that was declined. This is the one that really hurts, though. Reginald Jones, good call by the officials as he just ran at Barnett, never looked back at the ball.
So the Saints will have the 2-minute warning to stop the clock and 1 timeout. But they had the Eagles pinned to 3rd and 11. They let him get away. Walker off left tackle for about 4, maybe 5. I was wondering coming into this game how much work Walker would get, how many attempts. How about 26 carries today, 111 yards.
And 4 pass receptions, and I think he handled the ball on a kickoff 1 time.
Saints used their last timeout. 2:35 remaining. Like Randall Cunningham said, you don't bring this guy in here to carry only 5 or 10 times a game. But 26, I didn't expect that. Magnificent debut for Walker. Tonight on CBS, getting rid of Saddam Hussein is proving tougher than starting with him in the first place. 60 Minutes takes another look at the PR campaign that helped us get into this mess. Followed by Murder, She Wrote, and then at 9 Eastern, the CBS Sunday movie, Do You Know the Muffin Man?
Nope.
Never met him.
I'm going to find out all about him, I know that.
We'll get home in time to meet him. 2nd down and 6. It's tonight at 9 Eastern. Walker out. Sherman, the lone back. Straight ahead. And about 3 yards shy of the first.
And that'll take it down to the 2-minute warning and bring up the 3rd down and about 3. So this one not looking good for Saints.
No more timeouts for Jim Mora.
The only thing that Mora can hope for now is a real quick turnover after this 2-minute warning. Have had 3 or 4 fumbles recovered today, but he could use one coming up real soon.
All right, we'll take a timeout at the 2-minute warning. Philadelphia 15, New Orleans 13. A moment ago, a huge play for the Eagles. 3rd and 11 they faced. The Saints looking to get the ball back, trailing by 2. And what happened, Dan?
Well, 2 mistakes on the play. Number 1, this is the Pat Swilling, the MVP last year on defense, jumping off sides. And then Reginald Jones will cause the 26-yard pass interference penalty that will just about do it for New Orleans.
They must still have a breath if they can hold them here. 3rd and 3. Fake inside. Outside to Byers. Mills makes it an attempt. Won't get it. Hard running by Byers all the way to the 15. They'll run out the clock. Mills was the one man in the area, and he got picked off, Dan.
Well, the big man right here is Antone Davis. Watch the fake here. Byers comes to the outside, but the big man again, watch this agility from a guy 330 pounds as he picks off Sam Mills. Byers goes down the sideline, stays in bounds. That's the best game Antone Davis has had ever as an Eagle.
Certainly one of his biggest blocks. I thought Mills might have the angle on Byers.
That's a lot of man to get around for that angle, though.
Now, 1 or 2 more of those, and the Eagles will open with a victory. Well, it was a day packed with emotion. 30 minutes before kickoff, the family of Jerome Brown came onto the field, a tribute to their fallen Philadelphia hero, tragically died in a car wreck in June. Included a video and a speech by Seth Troyner and by Reggie White. The defense holds New Orleans to 210 yards and 9 first downs. Cunningham throws for 2 scores. This man with a big block in the late going. And Herschel Walker, 114 yards on the ground. So for Dan Fouts, I'm Jim Nance saying so long from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the final score is Philadelphia 15 and New Orleans 13.